Hi, it's Brian from GuruFi. It's spring, which means a lot of people have begun their application process for round one, which will take place at the end of the summer. So we're going to put together a longer series on MBA applications, but I wanted to do a quick 5-part series for how you should think about starting this process. And step one for this is to talk to your loved ones. There's a lot of reasons this is a great idea. First, talking to loved ones can help you clarify your own goals. When you have a conversation with someone, it has a way of organizing your thoughts. Second, it can help them help you with the process. It also provides you with an opportunity to let them know about your schedule, some of the challenges you're going to face. Ask them for emotional support, and also ask them if they would be willing to do things like proofread your drafts, give you feedback on some ideas for your application. Overall, when you involve loved ones and you create a community, then your application will be a lot better positioned so that you can present the best version of yourself. Step two, when you first start off your MBA application process, is to visualize what's on the other side. This is partly a visualization exercise, but if you can, also make it an initial writing exercise, a brainstorming exercise. What I want you to do is to actually think about, in a really concrete and specific way, who you are after business school, what you're doing, the goals that you're pursuing, and kind of how you envision what you're going to become. This is really important because all MBA applications are ultimately about the future. Yes, you reference your past to justify the admissions committee's belief that you can do it, but ultimately it's about painting a clear picture of what you aspire to do and become. And so if you begin the brainstorming process, your very first assignment, thinking about what you're going to become, that'll position you well to make sure that you make that story the central compelling part of your application. Step three is what I like to think of as kind of the self-diagnostic process. Think about your strengths and weaknesses as an applicant, and also your strengths and weaknesses in terms of what the application entails. The first one is maybe a little bit more straightforward, like what are your professional accomplishments? What have you done that is interesting and compelling and would position you well as an applicant? Also your test scores, GPA, those types of things. But also think about, am I good at writing a personal statement? Do I have strong recommenders? Put all of those things together so that you can develop kind of a sense of where you stand as an applicant. And that will help you both in terms of figuring out where you need to reach out for additional help if needed, but also figuring out the level and kinds of schools that would be a good fit for you. Part four is you've already gone through the self-assessment and kind of positioning yourself with a clear idea about what you want to do. Now it's time to start assessing programs. Think in terms of fit is the first and most important thing. Don't try to backwards engineer because you're really in love with a brand. Instead, think about it in terms of what are my strengths, what am I trying to accomplish, and how well do those things align with various programs. You can then go through the process of selecting schools, right? Some that are maybe a reach, some that are kind of in the middle zone. And if you want, you can add a couple of safety schools if you're really intent on going this next year. And then from there, you can put together the list. Usually most people, it's about 6 to 8 programs. It can be more. And from there, you can set the schedule so that you know when everything is due. With our fifth and final tips for starting off your MBA application process, we're going to go back to brainstorming here. So for these, I would suggest take 10 or 15 minutes for each of these 5 questions and just set some time aside for you to write by yourself undistracted. The 5 questions that you should start brainstorming just for yourself are: 1, who will you become after business school? 2, how will business school help you achieve those goals? 3, what are you going to bring to an MBA class? 4, what have you done to prepare yourself for excelling in business school and the life after? And finally, what's your why? That is, what is the thing that makes you want to attend business school, not only generally, but specifically right now? If you have brainstormed these questions, you're going to have great materials when it comes to actually writing the personal statements for each of the specific schools that you're applying to.